When I sat down to write this speech, I couldn't help but think back to one I gave a few years ago as we all gathered together for our middle school filing out. I revisited that moment as we crammed together into the gym to celebrate our last day of 8th grade. I did not remember the specifics of my speech or the words of the others who spoke, but I began to remember the energy and the emotion that poured out of us as we faced our last day of 8th grade. I searched the family computer, and I managed to find the speech that I gave. And I sat in my room poring over the words. Memories flooded back. After a few moments of quiet reflection, I began to digest the words before me, and the emotion that I felt as I wrote them 4 years ago became much more tangible. In that speech, I spoke about how our class was at a crossroads. As we were branching off into high school, we would lose some of our classmates as they chose different paths. Yet, we would remain undeniably connected through the impact that they had on our lives. Without a doubt, this sentiment remains true today. We have once again come to a crossroads, and it is certainly not the last time that we will be faced with the difficult task of plotting our future course. Yet, this particular time holds special meaning for all of us, because it is the first time that we will take steps outside of the comfort of childhood and enter the adult world. I'm sure many of us do not know how this journey will end up, or how we will carry out the lofty ambitions which we clutch to so dearly in our minds. Yet, it is the journey itself which is the most fun. Author Rosalia de Castro once said, "I see my path, but I don't know where it leads. Not knowing where I'm going is what inspires me to travel it." Likewise, our inspiration to go forth is the unknown promise of our future, the untapped potential of what we can achieve, and the unharnessed power of our collective abilities. I think it is safe to say that our paths have not been planned out and the maps not yet studied. But I am confident that wherever we choose to venture, we will ultimately be met with both happiness and success. We have been preparing for this journey from the moment we began in elementary school. It may seem foolish to find similarities between a senior in high school and a bunch of kindergartners dressed as wild animals for the African immersion, but it all comes together as part of our journey. Our formative years have helped to strengthen the bonds between us and to forge new friendships as well. As a class, we have been through so much together, represented by the lengthy list of grievances that now proudly hangs in Mr. Fox's office. From nature's classroom to portfolio, from added MCAS testing to an earlier school day, it seems as though our class is always chosen as the guinea pig. While this can be looked at as a burden that no one would like to bear, I think that, in a sense, it has become a badge of honor which we proudly wear. I think there's an odd sense of pride when we say to our friends from other schools, "Oh, you think you had it bad? Wait until you hear what our class had to do." Whenever something new was handed down to our class, and yes, change was one of our prevailing themes throughout our 13 years, we met it head on. We adjusted quickly and did whatever it took to make the best of a tough situation. These times were made easier by the shared burden of our classmates. We have been through so much as a class that it became second nature to turn to the person standing beside you and to be reassured that this time would be no different. Our class has developed a tough skin and has managed to overcome all the obstacles that have been thrown our way. Through our shared hardships, our class has grown both tighter and stronger. With our resilient spirit, I have no doubts that this class will succeed. We have a unique blend of passion, energy, intelligence, compassion, and just a little bit of wildness. Throughout the lore of the class of 2010, there is one moment that stands out to me. Back in 7th grade, as we all huddled together in the cage for recess, we began to fixate on the falling leaves that were tumbling down from the autumn trees. Typical of our competitive class, we soon began a contest to see who could catch the most leaves before they hit the ground. The wind carelessly tossed them around as arms thrust forth to see who could vie to take the crown of leaf-catching champion. But fun soon morphed into chaos, and playful shoving soon devolved into forceful pushing. I ended up getting pushed into a newly planted tree, which almost uprooted. By this time, the teachers had had enough. We were all lined up and screamed at, and needless to say, many threats were levied against us. But as we filed back into the building, we exchanged sly, knowing smiles, and we knew that we had done something as a class. Granted, most people would refer to it as reckless, dangerous, and wrong, and they would be right. But hidden in that moment was a deeper truth about our class. For while each of us had vied for the elusive success that came with catching a leaf, we were adversaries. Yet, once it was all over, we just as easily returned to being friends. We congratulated those who had caught the leaves, and we shared laughs over our misfortunes. The competition was soon in the past, and as we entered the school, we were no longer individuals, but one. Now, instead of leaves, we vie for grades, for starting spots, and for leading roles. We truly are a competitive class, but at the end of the day, we can come together and unify once more. It is often difficult to tell who has won and lost, because both victor and loser can walk side by side as friends. Our class's ability to remain close despite whatever is thrown at us is, in my opinion, our most redeeming quality, and it highlights the character, perseverance, and drive that make me proud to be a member of the class of 2010. With that in mind, I have the highest honor to be standing here addressing you all tonight. When I look at the students sitting behind me, I see the future. I see Hamilton-Wenham graduates attending the top schools in the country. I see them dominating the athletic fields in college. I see them becoming successful in business, acting, medicine, singing, writing, politics, the military, and everything in between. I see them raising happy families, and perhaps one day sitting at their own children's candlelight ceremony. I see myself looking back on my time at Hamilton-Wenham, and I am proud. I am proud to be a general, and I am proud to have stood beside all of you for the last 13 years. When we first met as bright-eyed youngsters in elementary school, to when we leave each other as high school graduates, we hold a bond. Between the good and the bad moments, and yes, there have been plenty of both, we have something that no one else has. No one else can claim to be a part of this class, and no one else can share what we have. I have such a debt of gratitude to all the students sitting behind me. Without them, there is no way that I would be who I am today. Whether they know it or not, they have had an impact on my life and have helped shape the person that I have become. As we leave here today, I hope that I am remembered by my classmates, not for my accomplishments, but for the impact that I have had on them. For each of us has left a fingerprint on the rest of the group, and that fingerprint can never be washed away. It is the mark that we carry as Hamilton-Wenham graduates, as proud members of the class of 2010. It's been an unbelievable run, and I eagerly anticipate the great things that we will accomplish. It's been an honor to address you tonight and to have stood alongside all of you. I wish you the best of luck in the future, and I urge you to continue to hold each other in your hearts. Thank you.